Phoenix home prices are a lot more stable than people probably feel right now, but it doesn't mean that it's an easy market. In fact, this is the kind of market where who you hire matters more than ever. And I want to share a quick market update with you, but I also want to share a recent client story that honestly, it stopped me in my tracks. So for June, the average sales price per square foot across all MLS, and when I say across all of the Arizona Regional Multiple Listing System, I'm talking about Maricopa County and then even a little bit of the outskirts from there. So, take these dollar per square foot with a grain of salt. If you live in Scottsdale, it's going to be much, much higher, right? So things to think about there, but the point is the trend overall is still something to pay attention to. So the average dollar per square foot within that database was $301.53, and that's down just 0.4% since May. So very little movement. And the median price across all of that is also holding steady and is currently $457,500. That's $7,500 up from this time last year. Pending listings are showing an average list price of $322.10, and that's up just 1.4% since May. So that doesn't mean that every home's going to sell quickly or that every seller is going to be able to, name their price. No, that is not the market that we are in. What it tells me is that the market is not crashing, but it's being selective. And, I sound like a broken record. If you've watched my videos as of late, that's what I continue to talk about. Buyers are still buying, sellers are still selling, but buyers are paying super close attention to price, condition, location, interest rates, the overall value. And in a selective market, your strategy matters. The wrong strategy can cost the seller time, momentum, and money, right? But the right strategy is not just picking a number based on what you hope to get or what you claim you need to get, right? It's looking at inventory levels, the average days on market, buyer demand, the current competition, of course, seasonality is another one, and then pricing the home the way it will show best and stand out. So that's why I talk so much about market clarity. Zestimate is simply not a pricing strategy. One sale down the road is not a pricing strategy. A real strategy looks at what buyers are actually choosing right now today. And that brings me to my client story that I want to share with you all. Recently, we received a review from a client named Sydney, and it truly meant the world to me. She and her husband had purchased a home in the valley while living out of state. Their plan was to rent it for a while and eventually retire here. But trying to manage everything from another state became incredibly frustrating to them. They had worked with multiple real estate agents, multiple property management professionals, and they just were incredibly disappointed by their experience. In her words, they had lost faith in real estate professionals. And that's a big statement. And honestly, I understand why people can feel that way when they have been let down, not once, but multiple times. By the time they decided to sell, they were extremely cautious, they were tired, and they were trying to figure out who they could actually trust. Sydney said that she spent 3 days researching agents online. She looked at reviews, she looked at experience, she looked at sales history, market knowledge, and then even watched videos to get a feel for who would be the right fit. One thing she wrote that really stayed with me was that she said she was not looking for unrealistic promises. She had been fed that time and time again. She was looking for someone realistic, down to earth, experienced, trustworthy. And that's the part I care about, because Real estate is not, it's not about telling people what they want to hear. Matter of fact, I think I kind of upset people periodically because I do tell them what they need to hear. I've lost listing appointments because of that. Um, you got to be telling people the truth. You got to be creating a plan, communicating clearly, solving problems, and flat out doing the work, right? With their home, we helped coordinate the preparation, the obviously the photography, cleaning, repairs, pricing, and marketing. They needed that. They lived out of state, right? The home sold for top dollar within 30 days with a solid buyer and a super short close, while similar homes continued sitting on the market. Now, of course, I am so proud of that result. But what meant even more to me was that they felt completely taken care of. At the end of this review, Sydney wrote, if we could give Cody and her staff 10 stars, we would. And it's a 5-star review. This is the kind of review you work an entire career to earn. And not because it's about me, right? But because it means that we are doing something right. We delivered what she needed, and with what other people need, clarity, communication, and in the end, results that they care about. So if you're thinking about selling and this market, right, you need someone great, strategy for sure, let us know. We'll get you that market clarity report so that you have crystal clear idea of what's going to happen, and then you can make the best decision for yourself. Um, right? How long similar homes are on the market, what their average price is, how long it takes for them to sell, what is the price line strategy. I mean, we have it all. And that market clarity report is going to give you the information that you need. So if you would like a market clarity report, let us know. Just give us a call. Let us know you want one, and we're gonna create that. And it doesn't take 5 seconds, right? It isn't something that's generated online. It's something that we take some time to do. So it takes about 24 hours, sometimes 48, depending on the day you call. So we're here for you, and we want to help. My name is Cody Riddle with the Riddle Group. Always, always here for you. Give us a call. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.